Hello and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever 2. In this episode, we're going to bring machines from over here in Knoxville over to our cargo hub. If we come over here to the machines factory, we can see its shipment numbers aren't really that big and its production numbers are much higher, which means a lot of the resources it's producing are probably getting wasted. So what we can do is take sort of the extra from whatever's getting sent to Knoxville and send it by boat all the way over here to the cargo hub, where we can then use it to get sent out to many other of the surrounding cities here, such as Arlington, Mesquite, and Durham. So this is going to involve us redoing a lot of this, because this clearly needs work. But first, let's get the boat line in that it will be using. So now when we click the cargo harbor, we can see it's connected to the factory and the truck stop. So then all we'll want to do is find where our shipyard is. We can start to think about the kind of boat that we want on here. So for the boat that we want, we're going to want something that's pretty quick, probably doesn't carry a lot since it is getting leftovers for right now, and we'll want it to come pretty frequently so that it gets there before the trains run out and it doesn't have enough time to come back with another load before the next train goes out, because then at that point the capacity is wasted essentially. So we'll start out with 10 boats and hopefully we can get them all to be spaced out pretty evenly. This is a longer boat line, so it is going to take them a while to get all the way over to here. And then we'll want to just make sure at Knoxville they're only loading machines, and at the cargo hub they aren't loading anything. We should see our boats come out, which we do, and we'll let those get themselves on the line and go through for a little bit. We're not going to connect up any lines with machines in this episode, but we'll at least have the option to bring them to the cargo hub if we need to. So now, over here, we need to start to make this more efficient. And as we can see, the one thing it's missing is steel. So if we come over here, we can see all the steel is getting transported, and it looks like we're limited by our iron ore. And I think the best way to solve this would be, first of all, to redo this entire area. Alright, so I've gone through and redone this area. We put in a better truck station with a one-way in and a one-way out, so hopefully a lot of the traffic won't get caught up. We've upgraded this road pretty much all the way to Knoxville as a 4-lane road so that traffic on this street doesn't get caught up by all the truck traffic. If it needs to, it can just go around. And I think we should definitely upgrade this dirt road, because I believe our speed limit is starting to pass those points. So now, coming back to look at the steel mill, we can see that our limiting factor right now is the iron ore. And I think we might be able to get a more streamlined path into here. If we come to this here, and if I remember correctly which one the iron is, it's number 2. Let's put that on terminal 3 and the coal on terminal 2. We can then put in a station entrance here so that the trucks from the iron mine will come directly into the platform they need to go to. And then we can pause real quick, get rid of this intersection here. And then we can sort of bring this in a lot more direct and maybe a bit more roundabout way. We can bring it right over to the entrance of this loading dock. And we just need to figure out the slopes. There we go. And then also, what should work is if we come in here and configure it again, we can have another exit so that the street can turn around and meet right back up to this road. Unfortunately, this isn't the most efficient way because they need to come on the other side in order to not really block any traffic. But we'll see if this causes any issues right away. So now, hopefully, since the trucks have a shorter distance to travel, it'll be able to bring more in a quicker time. So we'll just need to keep an eye on this. And then once all of this gets sorted out, we can take another look at our numbers. Now, one thing I want to start doing, and we're not going to get to all of it right now, but I want to go through all of our old bus loops and adjust the vehicles and the amount that we have on each line. As we can see, we have some pretty old buses on this line that runs around Mesquite. So we'll come in here, hit replace selected vehicle, and this is the most recent bus we have on there. But our most recent bus that we've unlocked is all the way down here, and it has a good amount more capacity, and it's considerably faster. So I think we'll go with these, the GM Fishbowl buses. Those are a little quicker, they'll carry more, and actually I think we'll probably clone 3 of them just so we can get more buses on the line. Because if we take a look at some of these stations, they have a lot of people waiting. So we'll come around to some of our other cities and do the same there. Alexandria is a similar issue. We should probably actually add more bus stops here. Although unfortunately it looks like our traffic issues have popped up once again. As we can see, everyone's trying to use this road, and it looks like they're all trying to turn left to go into Clearwater. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a direct connection from here over to Clearwater so that all the cars coming from Mesquite don't have to drive through Alexandria. I think that's where most of our issues are coming from. And I think there's a pretty easy way we can do that if we just extend one of these roads. So if we extend this grid line, bring it out here, and then we'll just sort of wind this around the industry and connect it up to this road here. So now all of these cars have a little bit more direct route to Clearwater, and hopefully they won't all be trying to use this little connecting road between the two. So we'll see how that ends up going. We probably need to wait for some of the traffic to repath through here. But I think that'll be pretty much it for now. in terms of the connections between Clearwater and Alexandria. But back to what I was saying before, we definitely need more bus stops around the city. So we'll put one here. We have one on this side. Don't know if we necessarily need one all the way down here yet. That's not too developed. And then we can come down here, manage the line, and we'll want to add stations. We'll add one there at Spruce Street. Well, let's get it in the right order. So we want it to come right from here over to Spruce Street, over to West Street, and then all the way up here. And that completes the loop. And then we'll also want to come in, manage the vehicles, replace them with some of the newest buses, and we'll clone a couple of these so that they can transport more of these passengers. So it looks like this road is getting used quite a bit, actually. So that tells me that there's definitely a demand to go between those two cities. Maybe that means we need to increase our passenger train network, make it more efficient, or maybe we'll just extend this big road all the way over here at some point. But let's let the initial burst of traffic pass through first. Alright, and then the last city I think we're going to look at is Clearwater. Now I know we've recently redone this bus loop before, but I just want to update the vehicles on this line, as a lot of them are pretty old, and with this being one of our biggest cities, we definitely need more capacity here. So, I mean, the inner city traffic in Clearwater is pretty good, which tells us that our bus routes are doing well in terms of moving people around where they need to be. Alright, so coming back to our machines factory, all of our boats are out here and they're going back and forth, and hopefully they'll be spread out by the time we actually start shipping machines. But if we come here to the steel mill, we can see we're now producing more than we need to ship, which is good, but we can also see that our limiting factor still is iron ore. So I think what we're going to do is come in here, manage the vehicles on this line, we'll replace them, we'll see if we got any better trucks, which I believe we do. We'll replace all of those, and for now that should do the trick. These are faster, carry more than these older ones, so we should see these numbers start to fix themselves. And then once we start actually shipping out machines, we can tweak those numbers a little bit more. And I think the last city we're really going to look at today is Toledo. We can see some of these stations have quite a few amount of people waiting on it. So we're going to come in, replace these with bigger and better buses. 6 buses definitely isn't doing it. So we'll clone 4 of those to get, I think that would be 11 buses running around Toledo. I think our bus coverage is okay for now. We could afford to spread out these stations, but the city's not too big yet. Alright, and lastly, before I end this episode, I want to come in and look at how our improvements in Alexandria has affected the traffic. And looking here, it seems like there's no more traffic. At least in Alexandria, that is. As we can see up here, this road is completely full of people that want to go from Clearwater to Mesquite. So unfortunately, didn't really solve our problem too much. It just kind of moved it somewhere else. But I think having traffic issues out here is much more manageable than traffic issues in the city, where it'll affect everything that we do. So with that, that'll be all for this episode. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. If you have any comments or feedback, leave a comment below. And thanks for watching, and have a great day.